Hi, Car. Welcome back.
Love you.
Okay. So before we will have this, I would just want to ask everyone, what are the causes of the suffering that we always mention about?
Three poisons.
Yeah, the three
Ignorance.
poison.
Ignorance.
Ignorance,
Three
greed.
poisons.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, greed, hatred, ignorance. So they those are the three, the basic causes for us to create our suffering. But of course, Buddha told us there is a cause of suffering, and he also taught us how to overcome the suffering. So, what are the those I display on this PPT? Is just uh, one of the two methods that we can use. But of course, there are many others way to overcome the suffering. So we how we overcome the three poison from three learnings, which precepts, concentration, prashna. And now we are also learning about the six paramita, which is generosity, precept, morality, patience, diligence, meditative, concentration, and prashna. So today we will focus on the precept. So from precept, we can see from three learning, also from the paramitas, six paramita. So what what are the what are precepts? So, um, if we will consider ourselves as a Buddhist, at least we have to take refuge to the triple gem, which is refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So, for Buddhist practitioner, we take refuge, and after the next step will be upholding the precept. So, because the precept are the root of all good karmas, the basic for all moral conducts in our world. This can also, we will say, for precept is not just Buddhists who should uphold, but in fact everyone should also uphold the precept. So we will go, why should I receive the precept and end up just limiting myself? Many people thought that precept will just limit ourselves. Oh, you I cannot do this, I cannot do that. But if you will understand what why do we have to uphold the precept, we will actually get the freedom uh, from our heart. No? So this is very important. Just like what in the Heart Sutra we chant, if no worries, then we will definitely will get the freedom. And it's like just like the Guan Yin Pusa, no, Guan Zizai Pusa. She always feel you always feel carefree whenever you see her, and even if you we will learn the practice of the Guan Zizai Pusa, the Guan Yin Pusa, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. We will also learn how to be freedom. And here, precept is also, we say precept, is it a rules? So it is like a student following the rules of their school or citizen abiding by the law. So the only difference is the rules or the laws are external force that regulate our behavior. Like for example, if you will go out, um, if you traffic there are traffic lights we have to follow. There, if you sit on the car, we know we have to put on our safety belt. All this, some people they would thought, these are rules that I need to follow. And if there is traffic police, then I will put on my safety belt. If no safety police, then I don't need to put on the safety belt. And this, you treat this as a rules because it's like force. If no external, this is like an external force. If I didn't follow, then I have to pay for the fine. So, but if you will understand, this rules is actually to protect ourselves. Definitely, if no police or there is police, I will still put on my seatbelt immediate after I sit in the car, right? So, uh, so this we will consider like enforced discipline. But Buddhist precept is inspired the inner force of self-regulation. This is also considered self-discipline. We know why do we have to uphold the precept. We choose to uphold the precept, and we know that we will get freedom after. Okay. Sorry. So when we mention about the precept and freedom, when most people first hear about the Buddhist precept, they may think they are just another set of rules to tell them all things that they can or they can do or they cannot do. Or always they will lose their freedom. But if you were understood, that is not the case, right? Because for the simple spirit of Buddhist precept, we should not violate each other, but respect one another to become free. So from here, we can now read the article, and then uh, we will see what is the concept of Venerable Master Xing is telling us the precept is not something horrible, it's not something they say is limited to ourselves. So, okay.
Should I
Want to share?
proceed, Sifu?
You will share or I will share?
Yeah.
Precept. People often feel uneasy about Buddhist precepts because to them, precepts are restrictions that would limit their freedom. As a result, many hesitate to begin learning about the Dharma when realizing that upholding precepts is a part of the Buddhist practice. To them, it is better off not being a Buddhist, otherwise, life will be full of constraints and inconvenience. However, precepts are not meant to be restrictive because when observed well, true spiritual and physical freedom will be ensured.
The acts of killing, stealing, lying, sexual misconduct, and using intoxicants contravene not only the five precepts of Buddhism, but also the law and social norms of moral ethics. Even without taking the precepts, these transgressions are punishable by law and result in loss of one's freedom. Even if a person by chance should escape prosecution, they will still not escape the law of karmic retribution. Unwholesome deeds inevitably result in negative consequences. Therefore, the law of cause and effect can arguably be the leading form of justice in this world.
Francis.
Consequently, not upholding the precept is akin to not abiding by the law, which results in punishment and the loss of liberty. On the other hand, people who uphold the precepts and obey the law need not worry about imprisonment. Just as the saying goes, a clear conscience is a soft pillow. By refraining from unwholesome acts, one's body and mind will be unconquered by fear. Life will truly be stable, carefree, and happy. Some might worry that after taking the precepts, they might break them. The question is, would one be exempt from the consequences of breaking the precepts even if they had not taken them in the first place?
As
She
Sheila said, her internet is not well, not good right now. It's lagging, so we cannot speak. Can anyone read it?
okay.
Yes. Hello.
Sheila, are you
Let me
okay?
read it.
Yeah.
I logged in again. It's okay now. Is it my turn now? Where do I start?
That one is killing.
Okay. Is killing, stealing, harassment, gossip, lewd behavior, and the impairment of one's judgment allowed even if one of the precepts were taken? Of course not. Therefore, a person should not wait until they have broken the law to realize that they have violated the precepts. By then, it's too late for regrets. One more.
Is that mine? No. It is better to take the 5 precepts and cultivate the mindset of preventing unwholesome actions so transgressions are averted. Should one subsequently break the precepts, having a sense of remorse and repentance is still considered better than not having taken the precepts at all. As such, compared to those who have not taken them, upholding the precepts allows for opportunities to change for the better and to start anew. Am I, or I'm still? However, whose turn? Mine? Still mine?
Yeah, you.
However, precepts are not easily broken once they are taken. In terms of severity, breaking the precepts range from minor to serious. The most serious transgression is known as parajika. Take killing as example. A parajika is committed when one kills another person, and this act is unrepentable. Most people will not break this precept readily.
Minor transgressions are known as duskrta. A duskrta is committed when one unintentionally kills, for example, mosquitoes, cockroaches, or rodents. Although still an offense, if one aspires to remorse, this offense can be mitigated through confession and repentance. Upholding precepts is the foundation for practicing all wholesome and spiritual cultivation. Precepts are not to be recited, but put into practice. For example, by doing good deeds, speaking good words, and thinking good thoughts in everyday life, the 3 types of karma, physical, verbal, and mental, are purified. This is the actualization of what is meant by do no evil, practice all wholesome deeds, purify one's own mind, from the verse of the shared morality of the 7 Buddhas. Moreover, to be kind and considerate towards others, and to realize the truth of causes, conditions, and effects in everyday affairs are also ways of upholding precepts.
The significance of precepts is to not violate others. Therefore, in the 5 precepts, refraining from killing is to not violate the life of others. Refraining from stealing is to not violate the property of others. Refraining from sexual misconduct is to not violate the body and integrity of others. Refraining from lying is to not violate the reputation and trust of others. Refraining from intoxicants is to not violate the wisdom and welfare of oneself and others. Precepts are like a teacher that guides one through what should and should not be done. Precepts are like a rampart keeping one safe. Precepts are like a virtuous book, increasing one's virtues so that other feels comfortable in one's company. Precepts are akin to the foundations in building a palace. Without the protection of precepts, the twists and turns of life will be hard to tolerate. There is no need to fear the precepts. Instead, uphold them as carefully as if protecting one's eyes. The true meaning of upholding the precept starts from not violating others to elevating and protecting all sentient beings.
Thank you, everyone. So, for I think most of it. Okay. So from the article and the PowerPoint that I showed before, is it you already clear about what is it about the precept? What the precept about? Janelle, is it okay? Okay. Cran, ba?
Yes, it's okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Kim? Kim Lim?
Yes, Shifu. Yeah, Shifu. Clearly.
Okay. So because most of the people I know already, so I think precept is quite basic for them. And most of you also I know already upholding the 5 precept, and also some and also Och already Bodhisattva precept. I hope more to come. More Bodhisattva will be generate from Philippines to upholding the 5 precept. So aside from, Bodhisattva precept. Okay. Okay. Just how we mentioned about the precept and freedoms, very obviously, Master Shingins also try to tell us that the precept is not something to stop us from doing any acts, but is actually to tell us, to educate us, upholding the 5 precept. It should not violating from others to others, or it actually protect all the sentient being. So we must not only undertake and observe the 5 precept in just passive manner, but we must also not just we must not like refrain from killing. We must also protect life. So from the 5 precept, we must not only refrain from stealing. We must also practice generosity. And number 3, not only must we refrain from sexual misconduct, we must also give respect. We not only must refrain from lying, we must give true words. And not only must we refrain from consuming intoxicant, we must also act correctly. So it's very clearly Master Singing taught us the 3 acts of goodness, how to do good deeds, speak good words, and think good thoughts. Basically, all this Dharma that he taught us is linked also with others, the 3 learning, like what we are reading now, the precept. So the precept is not just to tell you, oh, not to kill, not to steal, do not have sexual misconduct, or not lying, not having this consuming intoxicant. But we must also do what? To protect life, practice generosity, and all this. So he is not just tell us you not to do this, but he show us the way. If you do this, then you should also extend your acts to this. So for precept, many of us know the 5 precept. So now I would like to also introduce the different set of Buddhist precept. And all the sets, the Buddhist set of Buddhist precept, the basic are from the 5 precepts. And for we have the precept upholding by the gender, monastic, or lay person. For the lay people, we have 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 10 precepts, 28 Bodhisattva precepts. For novice, monk, or nun, we have 6 precepts of 6 6 precepts for a novice, monk, and nun. This one you can try it, or you can observe this precept when you experience the short-term monastic retreat. That means like you have a day monastic retreat, or you have 7 days monastic retreat, or 1 month monastic retreat. You can experience this. You can uphold this. So for us, like we already became the monastic, fully ordained nun. I'm sorry.
Bali.
Eat Bali. Suppose the nun has more precept than the monk. The monk is 250 precepts, and the nun has 348 precepts. Okay. So before I remember last week, we have the question from Och, I think. How do you sustain a wild? What do you do to keep it? Do you just let go or repentance and try to do it better? Before I give answer or before I would like to share a story regarding this because I just read a story and I think this is something is like suit for this question and you can think more about it after I share the story. But before that, is there anyone you have your thoughts on how do you sustain a vow or what do you do to keep it and do you just let go or repentance and try to do it better? Anyone you want to share? How do you do? Most of us already uphold the 5%. How do you keep how do you keep upholding your 5%?
Hello, Shifo. Jishang.
Lisa?
Yeah, I think for me, I think it would be like, be with like-minded people because it's really difficult to, uphold the precepts. It's not easy if you're alone or if you don't talk with other people, especially those people who are not aware of the precepts as well. So I think to uphold it, if you have a vow to do this or that, be with like-minded people who almost has the same vows so that you will work together. There will be somebody reminding you that you should do this because it's like this. Or yeah, because if no one is reminding you, sometimes you, I don't know the term, retrogress, or you sometimes forget about it, or you sometimes become lazy about fulfilling a vow. But if there's someone who can motivate you and who's with you, I think you will uphold it properly. Oh my.
That's why in Buddhism we call 三知识, 三知识. What do you call it, Peter? Like the good what do you call it? Good person or good friends around us that can always remind us or teach us the Dharma and just remind us to be diligent together. We need those
I
people.
agree with what Amiel said. It's really a lot easier to practice the precepts with together with like-minded people. But I also see the importance of being with people who don't practice these things or who don't know these things. And it's a way for us to test ourselves and to know whether or not we are able to do it, whether or not we are able to internalize the precepts. And even me, with other people, every now and then I see myself doing something and then I'll tell myself, I have to go back to chanting, I have to go back to reading, you know. So then we know that, we still need a lot of practice.
Yeah, even myself, me too. I need to also keep on reminding myself on you know have to be mindful all the time. So how do I be mindful all the time? At
Yeah,
least,
if I may add. So I think it's for me as a newbie in this endeavor that I wanted to learn more about Buddhism practice. I think it goes beyond practicing it as what I mentioned earlier, Irwin. I think that we need to practice it until it becomes a part of our DNA, and that way we'll be able to diligently follow what we need to follow. And also it boils down into having an integrity uh, within yourself, that whether somebody else is looking at you, somebody else know the precepts or not, but still you're practicing it, even if nobody's looking at it, then definitely later on you will succeed in terms of upholding the practice.
okay.
I do reflections every night. So I have questions that I go through every night before I go to bed. And some of them include like, did I benefit others today? Was I tolerant? What is that? So I go through a few questions and then I kind of remind myself. I also remind every time when I have a meal, we do the Fogongsan verses. So 慈悲喜舍天法界. So during that time is also a good time to do reflections. And in the morning after I do my homework, I also repeat the Pushen Pusa Sita 10 vows. So it's just always trying to push that ideology into my brain so that it will come out when, hopefully it will come out when.
Or some people also they chant mantra like great compassion mantra or Om Mani Padme Hum when you have to start the mind or anything that you feel you know you want for yourself to have get more mindful. You can also chant that because sometimes we think of already run out of track, so we can just bring us back aside from meditation. So chanting mantra is also one of the ways. Sheila, how do you uphold your precept?
For me, I do a lot of reflection, and then I like to write. I have like a diary where I write things down, like things that I always have to remind myself. But normally the precepts, the 5 precepts are pretty basic, and I wouldn't want to do those things anyways because I think it's a bad reflection. So yeah, I just try to always remind myself through my diary and my journal.
Mm-hmm. So regard the 5 precept on no killing. Of course, we say no kill other people, but if you will see more seriously, we can say also we try to be punctual all the time because time is also life. If I attend this event, I late for 1 minute. Imagine if the event has 50 people. That means I kill 50 people life. The 1 minute. So of course we will not say this to other people but oh if I uphold the 5 precept then I cannot be late. Otherwise I will be break the first precept then. But that is also a way for us to remind ourselves how important is it the time, and always be punctual is also uh, it's also respect of the event and other people. Okay, so what are the 8 precept and 10 precept? Maybe I can show you this one. Okay. Mhm. Okay. So 8 precept is basically 5 precept plus. Number 6 is to refrain from wearing personal adornments or eating at inappropriate times. This one is basically we do it. You can experience it 8 precept in a day retreat. This one in not eating at inappropriate time is last time or now even in we are not in the southern monastic way like Thai and all the monastic they eat until noon time, and after lunch they will not eat anymore, but or maybe they just drink the liquid to keep their tummy full for them to continue the cultivation or other activity. So this happened is because in Buddha's time, one of the monastic, because they will go out to have the alms giving, people will they knock on the on people's house, and then people will give food offering. So one of the disciple of the Buddha, he he is very angry when one day he knocked on the door of a woman. when she opened the door and also there is thunderstorm, with this ugly face of the monk, the lady got shocked and then she miscarried. And when this happened, when Buddha knew about it, so Buddha say, okay, no more, no more this ungiving afternoon. So that's why they have the food morning and noontime only until lunch. So evening they will not go out anymore. And number 7, to refrain from attending performance of music and dance. And this one, then you might ask, what about Siddhartha the musical? Why is it many monastics they can go and attend this to watch this performance?
I was about to ask.
Of course, this is the performance of music and dance. It's, I think this mostly to treat the desire of the people, you know. Maybe last or now still even they have uh many ladies, they dance and they this one they try to have the performance to make people feel the, you know, the there's desire on it. So for this, when we do the cultivation, of course we're not going to attempt with this thing. And Siddhartha the musical, we can say is like a dharma service. Why? Because the lyrics and everything is regards the Buddhist teaching. And number 8, to refrain from sleeping in luxury beds. If you will attend the one-day monastic retreat, you will just sleep on the floor with a very thin, what do you call, cushion with it. So this is also to teach us to let go of the attachment of, oh, I just want to, you know, relax and uh, enjoying my life with this bed and all this. So this is the precept basically is teach us how to let go of, learn how to manage our egoistic or the attachment with things and also the desire. So the 8 precepts are typically taken by lay people on retreat off. So like what I say, the short-term monastic retreat, like a day monastic retreat. Okay, so the 10 precept is the 8 precept plus the 9 to refrain from eating at inappropriate time. Number 10 to refrain from keeping treasure and jewelry. So this is also what this is also like for, you know, in the Buddhist, in ancient Dharma, this Buddha time, the people who wants to refuge to Buddha, they are mostly royalty, right? So for royalty, they have many of this treasure, jewelry, and all this. So, because Buddha want them to also get detached from all this treasure to get out of this attachment. So that's why there is one of this to refrain from keeping treasure and jewelry. The Bodhisattva precept. So for lay people have 28 precept. For monastic we have 48 precept. The Bodhisattva precept are additional Mahayana precept that focus on liberating ourselves and other living being from suffering. That means if Theravada Buddhism, they don't have this Bodhisattva precept. So it's only for Mahayana Buddhism, for the 28 precept, and 48 precept for the monastic. Okay, so if you are interested in Bodhisattva precept, you can study on it. Mostly, all the precepts are from the 5 precept and add on, like what I just add on. The 5 precept is the 8 precept is 5 plus the other 3, and the 10 plus the other 3. Okay. Okay, now I would like to share my story regards the today I found few story regard the recall upholding the precept from different sutra. Okay, regard the question that we asked, how do we uh, keep sustain our vow? But let me uh, share this story, and then you see what is the benefit of upholding the precept. Then you might think of how is it. So in Buddha's time, in as one man, he has this habit. He always drink, and he always drunk. Many people ask him, especially Ananda, the disciple of the Buddha, always send invitation to um, this man, ask him, please visit Buddha. Uh, I think Buddha can help you with all of this the things that you do. I cannot. I just Ananda talk to this man. He say I just cannot take it. Uh, the sorry the Ananda invite him to visit Buddha at the uh, temple of the Buddha. Then this man who like to drink, he told Ananda, I cannot take the precept. I just cannot because I always drink because he always drink, right? So he cannot take the precept, and he don't want to see Buddha because he think he do something like a shame. So he say, I will not listen to Buddha like that. So he keep on his way. He thought that his lifetime is good. His lifestyle, he like his lifestyle. So one day when he drunk again, and then when he on the way he walked home, he suddenly fell down. When he fell down under the tree, and he found that he got injured and the whole body got ache. And then this time he suddenly regret and suddenly hear the voice of the Ananda asking him to go to Buddha to learn Buddhism from Buddha. And then he say, if I will listen to Ananda, then I will not get hurt like this now. I will not fall down. I will not fall down, and then I will not drown like this. So suddenly he had the second thought. Oh, maybe this is the call. This is the time that I should go to the Buddha. And he walked to the Buddha's shrine. And then when Ananda saw him, Ananda quickly go to the Buddha and report to Buddha, say that this man who always drunk came to the temple. He want to see you, Buddha. And then Ananda thought that there must be some other people who brought him here. Who is the one who convinced him to come? But then he see, oh, it's only him alone who came. Then when he's greet the Buddha, when this man entered the shrine and he greeted the Buddha, and Buddha talked to him, will ask him, okay, you see, now Buddha talked to this man. He say, if there are 5 carts who bringing the wood, and you think if I need to have a big fire to burn all of this wood, and then this man confidently say, you no need to have big fire. You just need a liter of this sparkling of fire. You can already burn all of this wood. And then next question, Buddha asked him, how long have you wear your clothes? So this man say, I already wore it for more than 1 year. So Buddha asked him, you think if I would like to wash your clothes, to wash it clean, like get this dust or stain away, do I need how many years do I need to clean all this your the stain in your shirt. So this man say, Buddha, we no need to take years to clean this. We just simply need to have the last time they use kind of like the iron bar and like the ash to iron it, and then it is to iron the stain out, I think. So it is already clean. So no need to clean, no need to take years to clean it. So after Buddha listened to his answer, and Buddha said, so all the things that you did, all the unwholesome deeds that you did, it's just like the 5 parts of the woods, or even like the stain that stick on your shirt. If you were just willing to uphold the 5 precepts, the unwholesome deeds that you have done, it will clean it. You will clean away. So from here we can see Buddha is very compassionate. He used different way or different way to teach the sentient beings, to lead the sentient being to the right path. So even though sentient being has many unwholesome deeds or the things that we did wrong, but then he still will tell us the way, and to ask for repentance or forgive us if we willing to step up to do a better way. So here, even before this man, he tried to drunk, but then if he willing to uphold the 5 precepts, he still can have the merits of upholding this 5 precepts. Can you understand my story? So this story is also from the sutra, and suddenly when I check on the question that asked by Sir Och, I think if you're willing to, is everything is just from our heart, from our inner heart. That if you're willing to do this, if you're willing to uphold the 5 precepts, definitely we can sustain it. But of course, we are just a human being. We will make mistake. If ever we will make mistake, do not just let go all the. If I uphold the 5 precepts, I break 1 precept. Do not also break all the 4, all the 5 precepts. But at least I still have other 4 to uphold. And the one that I broke, I can definitely repentance. We have many methods of repentance. Like we have Tabe Chan, great compassionate. You got great compassionate repentance Dharma service, or we Emperor Liang Dharma service, or many others, or even you just prostrate to the Buddha and tell the things that you did wrong because you realize, and then after that you make wow, what you're going to do next. That is also one of the way. It's not the promise that I tell Buddha I want to do this, but that is a reflection and tell ourselves the promise to ourselves, the self-discipline that we should do, the self-examination. Okay, next, I would like to share also another interesting story about what the benefit of upholding the precept. Okay, this is also happened in Buddha's time. So there are 2 monks. One day they stay far away from the Buddha, and then they heard that Buddha is going to do the preaching, and so they want to go back to Buddha and listen to the Dharma talk. And then they need to walk for very far, like few days. And 2 of them, they walk together, and under the hot sun, their water already finished, and they're getting thirsty, and And you can imagine if you walk under the sun, not like now we have airplane, we have bus, we have jeepney and all this. No, they are just walk. So when they walk, they uh, uh, when they walk, this they found they found this water from the what do you call well 吧，那个井水
It's well.
well, huh? They found a well, and then when they want to get to water, they they also see in the water there are many worms. So one of the monk never think of anything. He just get the water and drink it. And the other monk, he insists not to drink. He just stand beside the well. And then this monk who drank this water asked, "You, we already very thirsty and we still have far way to go. Why don't you just take this water?" And this monk say, we already promised, we uphold the precept that if ever, Buddha already told us, if ever uh, the water that we're going to drink and we realize there are wounds, we cannot drink it, because if we drink it, that means we will break the rules of no killing. We will kill the worms if we will drink the water. So I decided not to drink even if I get thirst and I would die here. Then the monk who drank the water, he said, if you didn't drink, you cannot walk reach to the Buddha. Then you will die. You cannot see Buddha anymore. So the other monk insists, okay, I'm not going to drink this water anyway. It's okay even though I will just die here. So really, this monk, he cannot last, he cannot reach the Buddha, and halfway he already passed away. And when he passed away, because of the merits of he uphold the precept, immediately he rebirthed to the what they call 天道 celestial realm. And when he reached there, he already have the supernatural power. And when he has the supernatural power, immediately he used his power to reach to the Buddha, and he prostrate to the Buddha and greet the Buddha. When Buddha saw him, Buddha was also very happy, and he said, "This is your merits of you upholding the precept." While the other monk, he still continued his journey. He still walked, and after a few days, he reached the Buddha. And when he reached the Buddha, he also the same greet to Buddha, and then Buddha asked him, how come you are here? Are you alone? And all. Of course, Buddha already used his supernatural power also to see what is actually happening. And this monk also reported to Buddha what before they have 2% and now how come he's just 1. And immediate Buddha said to him, you are ignorance. Even though now you can see me in front of your eyes, but then you even though you can see me in front of your eyes, but then the other monk who passed away, he already see me. We already met few days ago because of his merits of upholding the precept. So here, Buddha want to say, if a monastic, if you not diligent enough, or even though you want to see me, but then it is like not uh, not the same like how the late monk that see me, because he's very mindful of what he should do, even though he is very mindful, diligent on what he should do on his precept. and he can also see me anytime because now he already have the supernatural power. So this one is also, if you will remember the Diamond Sutra, there's a line, the saying, if you see me in front of like the form or from your eyes, you 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 ask to see me. Me is like the Buddha. You ask to see me, but then you are not in the right track. Like you already out of the track. Uh, that means you also cannot see me. That means you are not really following the track of the Buddhism way, Buddha path. Uh, After I read on this story, make me more clear of what is the Diamond Sutra, the line that Diamond Sutra is going to tell us. 就是那个若以色见我，以音声求我，世人行邪道，不能见如来。Luisa, you want to translate? Maybe Luisa is not listening. Luisa.
Actually, I'm looking for my Diamond Sutra in English version. But as I understand, the meaning is when you see me, when you see me in form, and then when you see, it's like you are not seeing Buddha at all, something like that. It's contradicting. It's like you should not be attached to the form, because if you are attached with the form of the Buddha, then you don't see the Buddha. Am I right, Master?
Yes, and also if you 世人行邪道啊，不能见如来。
So anyone who do unwholesome deeds, then he can see also the Buddha.
That's why for us as a Buddhist to uphold the precept is very important. And of course, if you uphold the precept, we have the merits that it's very powerful that you cannot just believe on it. So when we do the upholding, when we do the precept ceremony, in the sutra also that is mentioned, if one precept that you uphold, there are 5 bodhisattva will protect you. So if you uphold 5 precepts, then 5 times 5, 25 bodhisattva will be surround you to take care of you. So this, I have another story back regard this one. Okay. You have any questions so far? Or you have any insight?
Master, I have a question. So if when you practice the 5 precepts, you have Tianren, heavenly beings, or the protectors, but they're protecting you. What about if you take the bodhisattva vow? How many? Many.
Many. Many, many.
You have to uphold the precepts
Unlimited?
in order for them to.
Sorry.
Unlimited. Is it unlimited?
Yeah, unlimited. Peter, what did you say?
I was just going to say that you have to uphold the precepts in order for them to want to protect you.
Yes.
If you have a thought of, hatred or whatever, they just dissipate.
Yeah.
They go away.
Do heavenly beings make a vow to protect people who are upholding precepts? Heavenly people, heavenly beings, not people. They make a vow to protect people doing good.
Yes. I'm looking for.
I should uphold my 5 precepts and bodhisattva vow.
In our Buddhist college time, we study or remind ourselves once a month we will study the, like we chant the precept. Then after that there are time for us to repentance, like have self-reflection. You go to the center and then you like you tell your sin, what you have did wrong. You want to repentance in front of the Buddha and in front of everyone. You ask for forgiveness, and then what I'm going to do. But this is not for everyone. This is just close to monastic only. I miss that session because nowadays after we left Buddhist college, we will not do that unless the the supervisor is very strict. He will require us to do this. But then now, if we will assign to service in the temple, most of us are already busy with all those activity, how to do activity to benefit the other people. So the cultivation is really depend on ourselves. And how do we still continue our practice in our daily life, you know? So this is also very important. So I would like to share another story regard the Buddhas had attend Timada after 700 years. One of the, maybe some of you already heard about this story. There are one dragon, a dragon king. He stay in a village, and this dragon is not a good dragon because he always disturb the the citizen there to make other people feel afraid, or sometimes he will just make sound or this to make the wave or make the wind to disturb the life of the people. So the people there, they don't like this dragon, and they think that better this dragon to leave this village so that they can have a peaceful life. So more than 2,000 of Arhat uh, try their way to chase this dragon away. Like some of the Arhat, they use their supernatural power to to chase this dragon away, or they sit down meditation until they got con- uh, the concentration uh, to ask this dragon to go away. But then this dragon is very powerful, still want to stay there. And one day, one of the Arhat, he came to in front of the dragon and talked to him, and just have this three times of the fingertips and ask him, Dragon King, I want you to leave now. Please go. And this dragon, he, without any, uh, you know, rejection, he just stood up and flew away. He didn't say anything, and he just flew away. So the 2,000 of the Ahad, they got shocked. We use so many way to let this dragon leave this village, but we are unable to do that. So what is this Ahad do? It just tell this dragon to leave. Uh, please, please leave, and this dragon already left. How come? So this Ahad saying, I uphold my precept, even just a small precept. I will make sure that I really uphold it thoroughly, and this is because the merits of the precept that um, make me also powerful with all the protection, and the dragon know that I'm a cultivator, a practitioner who really cultivate. So he will not say anything. He just left. So I heard about this story before also, and this story also made me like realize how important it is if we will uphold the precept. It is not something for ourselves, but it is also not just enrich or benefit ourselves, but it should benefit others also. So this is the importance of why we have to also uphold the precept. Many of the story regard the precept when I check on it, and very interesting. So that also the precept regards like uh, the Dharma protectors and all. I tried to find the article, but the article mixed up. So I just don't want to simply talk. So just now I actually see it line by line in Chinese, and then I try to translate it. That's why I asked you, do you understand what I trying to tell you? I try to also to read the Chinese, uh like some words are quite profound, but I try to make it simple way to make me and myself, me and you to understand. So I hope the story will also inspire us to continue to uphold the precept. Okay, is there any questions from the group chat? It's just now I can. Okay. Or anyone you have any insight? Carl, long time no see. How are you?
I'm fine, Shifu, until Diamond Sutra discussion came again. I mean, I was gone for a long time and we're still talking about Diamond Sutra. You know, Shifu, I just do my best in uh, think good thoughts, speak good words, do good deeds, but still, the simple message of Mr. Shingyun evades me. But that's why it's called practice, right? And then I also, during the discussion, I remembered when I was at the monastic retreat. I think one of the monastic shared a story about the who has it better between the shifus or the lay people. And I think Master Xing mentioned that the lay people have it harder when it comes to practicing the Dharma. Why? Because this was in connection with what Emil and Sir Erwin mentioned about practice and cultivation. The Shifu there shared that Master Xing said that the monastics have it easier because it is easier to cultivate in the temple compared to uh, the lay people where we're in the city and we have different challenges. So I think that was interesting for Master Xingyan to say that, because although when you practice, it's important to have a very ideal environment, right? Like the temple, so that we can focus, we can cultivate properly. But I think the true test of whether you can really uphold the Dharma or the precepts in general is when you're put in a very challenging situation, like, and then will you still be able to uh, not the precepts, even just the basic, were you able to still think good thoughts, speak good words, or do good deeds? So I think Master Erwin is already a master, but every now and then,
No,
every now and then,
because we only see each other in the temple.
Soon to be, si Erwin.
That's why it's not just people around us, but the environment is also very influencing for us
yeah,
to keep on the right track.
yeah.
Actually, I heard the other day I watched a video of our venerable in Taiwan, and they
Mm,
were talking about that cultivation. And then one master said told the story about his friend, also a monk. and he preferred to go. He wanted to let go of everything, to not be involved in this real life, and went up to the mountain and built his own, a small temple for him. He stayed alone there and practicing and meditating. Then one day he went down went to the city and met up with his friends and told him his accomplishments. I am so happy and so peaceful and so calm living this life. I never get angry. And then the question is, how many are you there? Only one. I'm alone. and then, and then the actual story is when they went to a restaurant and ate, and suddenly the waiter accidentally splashed water or soup on his clothes. The monk suddenly stood up and shouted at him, and then all his rage came out. So you see, what is his practice there alone in retreating there in the mountains, right? It's different. You are alone. It's not easy to get angry. Yeah, no one to disturb you. But when you are in a crowd, in a group, in a community, then that is the test of how far you can go.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's why also when people say, Fogongsam Monastic is not cultivating because they are busy, they are not doing meditation, they are not, having this chanting. They are busy with the activities only. But if you will understand, when we do the activity, it's already the cultivation, and it's the hard part of the cultivation. For the communication part, already you need, uh, skill. And do you still remember the 3 acts of goodness when you're having the coordination with other people? If ever people will not follow your instruction or listen to your idea, what do you do? How do we, make it everyone happy? So this is already part of the cultivation. But of course, aside from the activity that we do, we organize all the time. Our self cultivation is also very important because that is the time ready for us, like what you say, the reflection, self-reflection, meditation, the chanting is all keep us in our mind. We not no need to just kneel down in front of Buddha to do the chanting and all. Even if you're walking, if you take the lift from first floor to 10th floor, this time you can already chant few times of the mantra or recite the name of the Buddha. So it all depends on us. How do we want to cultivate? So it is back. The cultivation is not the form, but it is really from our inner heart. Okay, next. Oh, now OMG is oh my Guan Yin. Interesting, Okay. Stephanie, have you uphold the 5 precepts?
It's difficult when I see little cockroaches.
What are you going to do with
uh, it's yeah.
you will chase them?
That's too many. One too many already, Amiel. One is not enough.
Wow.
Before,
Amir have all the methods.
So Stephanie, I want to share something regards you said about the cockroach. So one time I was doing yoga with a group of yogi practitioners. We were doing the asanas, the forms of yoga, the forms, right? And then so we were going into an inverted form already when all of a sudden this spider, a big house spider, came crawling in the middle of the of the what do you call this, the ashram, the place where we were doing the yoga. So we came out of the inversion, and then the instinct of the instructor was to kill the to kill the poor spider, was probably more afraid of us than because we're bigger, much bigger than him. So when I saw that, I told her, no, please, just let it be. And then I got tissue paper and just put it over the the house spider and brought it outside. So silently, they were able to get it's doing the yoga, it's not just for because it's for supposed to be cultivation of body and mind, right? When you do the yoga, you exercise the body, you exercise the mind. But when your instinct is to kill, that's not it anymore. So somehow by doing that, I think they were able to get it because they just went quiet and then, very a bit awkward, but then it continued the flow of the of the exercise continued. So this is a part where I'm telling you, try to see it another way. That cockroach that you see is probably more afraid of you than you are of it because it's a smaller sentient being man. Gamay man siya. So mas hadlok na siya sa imo. That's more scared.
Yeah, they're more scared than us. They're more
Sure.
scared actually. Yun lang.
They're really icky, I know, because they're dirty and all that.
Yeah.
But if you go
Yeah,
beyond it,
exactly.
and then you try to just save it, or I don't know, because it's also a
Yeah.
pest, right? but, but but as long as you don't lose your intention, ba, if you keep the precept,
Right. Maybe I should have a
you
basin
find a way
on
to go around it.
cover. Yeah.
I just want to say that I think what's interesting for me that after I took the 5 precepts and the Bodhisattva precept is that after the taking the precepts, my perception of things change. So initially, very much like ants and insects, I'm like repelled to them. But after taking the precept, your perception of it changes. Immediately, your heart would be like, I'm here to protect this thing, not to harm it. And sometimes, like things that I used to do in the past, say, for example, things that are not mine, like after taking the precepts, I realized, hey, hold on, it's not mine. I don't know who's reminding me, but it's like after you've taken it, as Buddha said, the precept is your teacher. And somehow after you take it,
Right.
You are just so aware of everything. Like my fiance, she was at a mall, right? And she just walked around and then she needed a tissue and she just grabbed one from the cafe. And I said, you can't do that. But if I didn't take the precepts, I wouldn't have thought of anything about it. So I think something changes after you take the precepts, and you'll be different and you'll be much, much happier. And as Venerable Yulin said, that you'll be a lot freer than feeling constrained. So good luck with that.
And also the affinities will change.
True.
Maybe because of our upholding the precept, we have many bodhisattva around us. So definitely we also absorb more positive energy with the more positive people,
I
good
believe
people
that.
around
Yeah.
us.
It happened. I mean, it happens. I mean, when you had this bodhisattva vow, it's different. You see positive forces around, and there are Ming Ming Chong ha. At the back of it, there are some positive forces behind you helping you out, and I can feel it. That's what happened.
So just one more thing. The day after I took the Bodhisattva precept is probably one of the happiest day I've ever experienced. Because on that day, you realize that sentient beings are above you. Initially, you'll be thinking like sentient beings are above you, then you're in a disadvantage. But like when you have the mindset that you're Bodhisattva and you have to help them all, life is actually a lot easier. If I'm driving, they go first. And then if I'm eating, they go first. And even when they go first and I'm waiting, I can just recite Buddha's name. There's no harm done. Actually makes life so much easier when you don't have to compete with anyone. That they go first and you go second. It's so much freeing. So
Makes life easier. Things are different. Yes.
Yeah.
Precepts
Slowly
are
we
like protection for us and for other people also.
yeah.
I remember the first time we the master invited us to take the precepts. We were also very hesitant at that time, but if I'm not mistaken, it was Master Miao Jing who said that, you know, taking precepts will serve as a reminder. So I can just imagine, without precepts, you see a cockroach, pack, you see another cockroach, pack, without hesitation. But maybe you took the precepts, you see a cockroach,
Amir is
then you
laughing.
pack.
Oh, you are
So,
killing a cockroach.
so who knows that you just avoid doing one negative karma just because you took the precept, just because you are reminded of your precept. So I guess that's a good part of taking the plunge of, you know, taking the 5 precepts. But on the other hand, I also remembered it was during Sinting. He was the one conducting the ceremony. He during the ceremony, he mentioned that if you cannot uphold the 5, then you can uphold 2, 3, 1. It's up to you. So you don't really need to uphold the 5 right away. So you have that option also.
Yes, and then slowly you will also you will think, oh, 135 is not enough. Better to complete all when the right causes and condition come. Because many people they worried about the 5%, especially those who running out their business. They would think, when I want to entertain my client, it's very difficult for me if I didn't drink. Or I have to tell my product is good. My product is good. So sometimes you need to have some white life to sell this or this. Then, but then I also heard about the yacht from Malaysia or Taiwan. They also having the business or they went interview, and then when the boss knew that they are Buddhist or they uphold the 5 precept, immediately they say, oh, okay, you are they accept him, in because they think that if Buddhists or especially those already uphold the 5%, definitely they are, have a good attitude, at least, they have the mindset. And also I heard there is a youth, he tried to commit suicide, but before he jumped, he suddenly saw his rope of the 5%, the rope man yi, hanging on the balcony side, and then he think, oh yeah, I already uphold the 5%, and then I remember that no killing, including no killing of myself. So that saved his life. So this is also, very important, as a reminder to ourselves. Okay, so last, only few pages now, 3 pages to share. So 10 benefits of observing the rules of the precept that I just introduced to all of you. So the monastic order is supported by the rules. The monastic can be joyful. The monastic can be peaceful. Those without faith can find the faith. The obstinate can become cooperative. Namasic, the faithful can depend their faith. Those suffering from remorse can find peace. The outflow that are currently present can be removed. The outflow that will arise in the future can be removed. The right Dharma will last for a long time. The benefit of upholding the precept, I think, is, of course, in general, we know that it is good. But then for you yourself to really experience it, only when you practice this. The same thing like the Dharma or the meditation. We say, oh, meditation is good, the Dharma is good, the Dharma is here in our life, is in our daily life. If you're able to observe it or you able to practice it, then definitely you will know how good is good. So lastly, since we are already go into this 6 parameter, This is number two. And then today, this morning, I just saw this word of wisdom by Venerable Master Shingyin regarding six paramita. And immediately I have very a good person help me to do the translation. Okay, generosity creates good affinities. Precept prevents unlawful conduct. Patience gives strength. Religion brings success. Meditative concentration benefits the body and mind. Wisdom makes one fully understand. So I like humanistic Buddhism because Master Shingen not just tell us what is Dharma, but then he make the Dharma lively to make us easy to understand. It's just like this six paramita. From the six line that we see, he already tell us the benefit of if you will practice this six paramita. You will practice generosity, definitely you will have good affinities. Even though we say we give others, but actually the person who gain is ourselves more than others. So if you uphold the precept, then you can actually prevent from unlawful conduct. This we can also see very clearly. If we will uphold the precept, then we will not kill, we will not do other bad things. Definitely, we will set ourselves free from illegal act. So if you be patient, then you will have more strength. This one we will listen to Sir Irvin next week. Regard patient, and then if you practice diligent, then you will bring success. Of course, practice makes perfect. Not everyone will, one time and then you get success. But most of the things we need to practice. The same when we uphold the five precepts. Do not just afraid. Oh, what if I break this? What if I cannot do this? Do not hesitate or do not worry about this. If you were willing or you brave enough to step on the step after refuge to the triple jump, the next step is the five precept. When you uphold it, definitely um you will gather all the good causes and conditions to help you in this path. So meditative concentration benefit the body and mind. Because this uh, living in mindfulness, practice meditation, always let us come. Even every Wednesday, I lead everyone to refuge the Buddha's name, Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. When I just chant the three times, recite the three times of the name of Sakyamuni Buddha, my heart immediately feel calm, and all the worries it seem quiet and leave aside. It's just the three recite of the name. What else if I will really do sit down meditation, right? I think it will be more powerful also. So wisdom makes one fully understand. Um, wisdom, prashna, this we will also discuss in the future. Okay, so that's all for my discussion today. I hope you learned something, and thanks everyone for your insight for this discussion. I feel very happy. At least also you share your thoughts. Thank you so much. And I hope for those who still hesitate or worry about the upholding of five precept, you will have a good uh, affinities or good causes and condition for you to go through this. Thank you.
Take the refuge and the five precepts via Zoom.
Yes. Yeah. I think this year.
One thing is coming up. Yeah, the precept ceremony is coming up.
Yes, this year. Please grab this opportunity to uphold the five precept together with the world. It's not just one place, but then the whole, for Gongsan.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So it's 9:30. Thank you very much, Safo. Very nice insight, very nice sharing, and very nice how you mix the interaction with your presentation. Okay, so final prayer before we leave, and then we'll take photos again. So hopefully we can inspire other people to join. Okay, palms join.
Give affinity to benefit all beings. A chant pure land and precept
inspiring equality and
equality.
make
May
our
our
humility
unity
and
and gratitude
gratitude give rise to
give
great
us
ones.
Okay, turn on your video.